Hi, I'm Rainer and welcome to my train room. In my last video, I put together an old Athearn blue box kit, a 200-ton crane and a boom car, and did some weathering and custom lettering to make it at least look like it's appropriate for the ACR, even though they didn't have a crane that was exactly like that, but it's a good enough stand-in for what I'm doing here on my layout. Picked that one up at a train show for cheap, and in that video, I mentioned that I'd been looking, because of looking at the crane, I started looking online at some of the other maintenance away equipment they had, and decided that, you know what, I'm going to look through some of my other train cars that I have sitting on the shelf, and have a bunch of kind of unbuilt kits and things like that up there that I've picked up over the last couple of years, and thought, you know what, let's see if I can start modifying some of those kits, or maybe even scratch building, or sort of kind of scratch building some cars to build up a maintenance away train that kind of looks like some of the equipment that the ACR had. Now, the ACR was really good at kind of finding old cars and modifying old cars, and a lot of do-it-yourself kind of things for their equipment. And so what I did was I went through and I just actually downloaded some pictures and then printed them off, just so I have reference pictures of ideas of what I want to do. And so today I thought I would start by, well, they have this water tank car, and it's an old CN car that has been modified and I guess somewhat mutilated to make it into a water car for the cruise. And it has like a vent stack for a heater and things like that on it. And so I pulled out this old car. Now, this was actually painted yellow, and it was what was it originally? It was a Southern Pacific, some type of a tank car. So while I was doing the painting on the crane with the airbrush, painting those black, I sprayed a coat of black paint on this tank as well, so I have a black car to start with. And what I'm going to do is, I know it's a longer car than this water tank car here, but I'm going to use this as a sample to make this kind of look the same. I know it's going to be a longer car, that's okay, but I'm going to add some of the same details, try to do some of the lettering the same way, and see what I can do to make it look old and weathered, being, and more than anything, just inspired by that car. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And actually, while I was printing the lettering for that car, I also printed some lettering that's looks similar to what's on that car in this image. And so I've got that on this white backed lettering paper. Printed this with the laser printer, and it's got a clear coat on it. So they're basically water slide things. And so, especially with a black car, something that's originally a black car, this black background works on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assemble this car to the point where it needs to be assembled, and then I'm going to start doing some of the lettering on it. It's going to take a little bit of lettering and then some weathering and some other painting, and then probably some more lettering. I'm not sure how it's all going to work out, but I'm going to try to figure out how to have that same effect on here. I'm going to sort of try to figure out how to make it look sort of like that. Anyway, that's the idea. Let's see how this goes. So the first step in the assembly of this car was to get an approximate weight of what the car was going to be once it was assembled. So I put the empty box on the scale, zeroed the scale, and put all the parts in the box, and that gave me a weight of around 2.5 ounces. Measured the car, roughly going to be about a 5-inch long car. By the NMRA specs, the recommended weight for a train car is 1 ounce as a base weight plus a 1/2 ounce of weight for each 1 inch of car length. So that would be 1 ounce plus 2.5 ounces in this case. So the total weight should be 3.5 ounces. So I dug out 4 1/4 ounce lead wheel weights and put those in the box, and it came out to roughly 3.5 ounces. So I started the assembly by grabbing 4 metal wheel sets, and these are just the cheap EVA model wheel sets from AliExpress. Pulled out the plastic wheels out of the trucks and replaced them with the 4 metal wheel sets on the axles. Replacing the plastic wheels with metal wheels just makes the thing roll so much nicer on the tracks. It just rolls better and ends up with less derailments. The next step was to put my extra 1 ounce of weight in the car. So I had 2 pairs of 1/4 ounce weights, and I just put them on the curved little metal weight, steel weight that was in there. But because it was a curved base with flat weights, I ended up using a little bit of super glue around them so they don't pop loose and bounce around in the car because, well, once the car's closed up, you're not going to have any access to those weights, and I don't want them to move around and end up throwing the car off balance. Next step was installing some metal knuckle couplers on the car, and so on these, the frame is in 2 pieces. You can put the coupler springs and the couplers on one part and then pop the other frame in place, and it will hold the couplers in place. I found that if I do it in one end first, kind of squeeze it into place to hold the coupler, and then I can sneak in the coupler in the other end of the frame and put it together. After that, it was time to attach the 2 tank halves together and then attach the frame to the bottom. First with the screw that goes in the middle and attaches the frame to the tanks, and then I can take the trucks and screw those on with a screw at each end. Now, when you're putting the trucks on, I find that I tighten the screw up and till the trucks start to feel a little bit snug to swivel, and then I just back it off a little bit so that they swivel freely. You don't want them too loose, but at the same time, you don't want them binding on the corners and making the car not go around the corners properly. Next step was putting the railing on around the tank, and the way it works on these Athearn tank cars is there's a little metal ladder on each side, and the bottom of the rungs, the bottom parts of the ladder stick into little holes in the walkway that goes around the tank car, and then the railing goes through a small hole at the top of the ladder and into a hole in the side of the tank. So I find it's easiest to start with one ladder hanging on one of the railings, put it in that way, and then work around to the other side and put the other ladder in place. Now, just remember, you have to put the bottom of the ladder into the walkway first and then push the other one, the top part into place with the railing going through the hole. And then just work your way around and make sure the railing is actually clipped into the little supports all the way around the tank. And then the second railing's a little easier to put on because you already have the ladders held in place. You just put one end in, work your way around, and then get the other end pushed into place. You just kind of have to push it in tightly, and then it pops into place. Now, what I find is sometimes those railings want to pop out a little bit, so I just put a tiny little drop of super glue at kind of all the attachment and support points, and it keeps everything all nice and secure, and then the car doesn't fall apart later. The other thing you can do at this point, and I didn't show it in this video, is if there are any of the placard holders that go on the car, on this car, there was one at each end of the car, and there would be one for each side of the car. I didn't actually put the side ones on, but I did put the end ones in place. And then the final part to attach to the car is the brake wheel stand and the brake wheel. So I put the brake wheel onto the stand and then glued that into place. Now I was on to the lettering, and these are some decals, as I mentioned earlier in the video, that I had printed with my laser printer, and they're just a water slide type decal, and I'm just applying them kind of in the right locations based on the photo I have of the original, one of the old maintenance away water cars, and they have a Canadian national labeling on one end that has been painted over, but that isn't totally blocked. So I made some Canadian national lettering and I'm applying them in place. And then I'm also putting in the ACR lettering as well as some of the other lettering that goes on the car. And then I decided that I'm putting all of the lettering on in one shot, and then I'm going to deal with weathering and masking it to try to make it look like the prototype, or kind of to represent the prototype once I get it all in place. In here, right here, I am building a little vent stack. It looks like same type of a smokestack or chimney stack that you would have on a caboose. Built it out of styrene tubing, and then with the file cleaned up a little spot on the top of the tank to get some bare styrene tank, and then just use some MEK to glue it into place. Now I'm painting that stack black, and once the MEK has dried, and I also use some of this black paint to touch up around the edges of the lettering where some of the paper was showing through white. Next step is I have some old Floquil matte finish, clear matte finish, so I'm using that to just coat the lettering once it had dried, once all the water had evaporated. I'm just putting that on there, and that's just to seal them in. Now, on the prototype, this Canadian National lettering had been painted over at some point, but not very well, so it was showing through the paint, and so I'm trying to simulate that here by just using some artist acrylic paint that I diluted with some isopropyl alcohols, a mix of gray and black, and I'm just kind of smearing it on there, and hopefully once I'm done, it will look like, well, that it got painted over and it's showing through a little bit. So that brings me to this stage, and this is what it looks like. All the paint is dried. Actually, that first part of the video that I just showed you, that was all done a few days ago because I've been busy with some other things here with my daughter visiting and things like that. So now I'm back to this, and I'm going to try to get this finished up. So here's the photo I'm going by. I know it's, like I said, it's a slightly shorter car, but as you can see right here, there's old Canadian National writing that had obviously been painted over, but it's showing through the paint. But the top of this car has this kind of grayish, brownish color to it, and from what I understand, that was some kind of spray foam insulation that was put on top of it to try to, I guess, to keep the water from freezing in the winter, and that's why the stack is here for some kind of a heating system, from what I understand. What I'm hoping to do here, because I've put all the lettering on, what I'm going to do is mask over the numbering that I put on here, and that way it will stay clean and black and look more freshly painted once I remove the masking and after I've done all the weathering. And the same thing with this, I'm going to mask it out on here so that I can spray something on top to make it look kind of like that, and then pull it off, and then that will show through like a rectangle like that. And then of course I'll end up doing some more weathering on the bottom. I know it's not going to look exactly like this car, but I'm trying to get some of the same idea. We'll see how this works. It's going to be a little bit of applying masking tape and then attacking it with a airbrush with a mix of different paints, and then see if I can get it looking like that. And then I'll probably end up having to do some more weathering, just to get some of this brown rust color in here and things like that. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. First get some masking on this thing, and hopefully I can make it look somewhat like this car. So here it is on my layout. I did some weathering on it. I couldn't get the weathering to look quite like it did in the photo, but that's okay. Partly because, well, I think the original one actually had some kind of spray foam on top of it, and couldn't quite simulate that with my airbrush. But anyway, the Canadian National writing here is actually legible, at least in person, blanked out, but you can still read the writing through it, and that was what I was looking for. Most of the other writing underneath the weathering is largely obscured, but still legible. And then the Algoma Central reporting marks are kind of a black cleaner patch with those numbers much cleaner, like they were on the prototype photo. So I did a little bit of weathering with some brown acrylic, watered down with some isopropyl alcohol, and then I sprayed a mix of gray and brown and dark iron Tamiya paints that I diluted with the Tamiya thinner and airbrushed it on there. I also put a coat of a matte clear finish over the whole thing just to kind of tie it all together, and then actually did a little bit more weathering with the airbrush. So it gives me the look I was looking for, an old car that's kind of dirty and has a few rust spots on it and things like that, and the only thing that's really clean on it is the new painted over reporting marks. So looking okay. And anyway, hopefully this gives you some more ideas. Nothing fancy about this thing. It's just somewhat of a slightly different looking tank car for my maintenance way train, and just wanted to put something together. And I'm going to be working on some more cars for that train coming up in the future. Got a number of other projects lined up as well. So hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.